Good morning, Instagram. Coming to you live. Still waking up a little bit. We'll take a minute to let everyone know that I'm here. All right. Good morning. All right. Facebook's here too. I am so dark on this camera. It's funny how this camera works different than this camera. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. So dark. There, I'll move back. Nope. Hey, Heather. Nope. It's just going to be dark on Facebook. I'm so sorry. I tried a few things, but there we go. All right. Good morning. It takes a little while for everyone to get alerted that I'm here. So, especially with how dark and shadowy I look on my iPad. I was messing around with filters. Hey, Elisa. Yeah. I was messing around with the new filters on the live feeds on both Facebook and Instagram. They are so silly, but I was tempted to do it, but I didn't want to distract from the practice. So we'll just be live with me as I am. A little bit of lip gloss, can't deny. Makes me feel better. Plus less chapped in the morning. There we go. So sorry about how dark I look on Facebook though. That's a little bit better. All right. Almost 7 o'clock. Just settling in and making sure people know that I'm here. Oof. We're going to talk about being our own heroes today. Yeah, I should definitely change my background, but I'm too lazy. And the lighting is so bad in my room where I am. Let's see if I close this. That help. Oh, there we go. A little bit better. A little bit less dark. Ooh, nope. Darker. Ooh, okay. Nope. Look at it. It is what it is. And now this curtain's going to be here. Okay. Oh, don't mess around with things until later. Rachel. How you know it's live, because I'm doing silly things and that curtain's definitely going to fall while we're practicing. Sorry, Facebook, it's just what it is. It's also my iPad. All right. Yeah, like a space in the desert. So it's 7 o'clock. We're just going to move ahead, and I'm going to try my best to be finding some light on Facebook. Sorry, guys. It might be my mood. I'm a little grumpy today. All right. So I have my affirmators deck. Makes me laugh. Makes me feel better. Thinking about being our own hero. We got to save ourselves, right? Picking a card here. Ideal partnership. So there's a bottle of wine and some brie. And it says, I am a rare and precious find, and my brilliance will be reflected back to me when I am paired with a true match. My ideal partnerships and work relationships are easy and free-flowing. I deserve greatness because I am greatness. And to paraphrase Rumi, what I'm looking for is also looking for me. In fact, he or she might be paraphrasing Rumi right now. These crack me up. It's so silly, but they just make me super happy. All right. Move these aside. So welcome. Being present and letting go of whatever's up with my iPad today. Let's breathe and just be present. Share what cup of coffee you have. I've got a mug that says California today. My mom gave it to me from a trip she did, I think. If you're drinking coffee or tea, no turmeric today. A couple weeks ago I tried it out. Not for me. Not for me. We're going to talk about being our own hero. And as we settle in, just notice what comes up, even when I'm just saying that, right? Ooh, Ethiopian blend, I like it, right? When we have to be our own heroes, what comes up? Because I wonder about how that sounds to other people, because to me, it's like, I can do it myself. But it might sound like I'm alone. So I'm curious if anyone has any feedback. Hey, Brian, on Facebook, the dark Facebook. right? We're gonna have to save ourselves. And we can do it because we're strong enough, right? We've got this for sure. So, what can we do to save ourselves? We can not seek external validation. That's the magic, right? That's the magic piece. We don't need anyone else. We don't need that outside validation. We only need us. Because if we're 100% worthy at all times, right? Like that's not negotiable. We are not stock markets. We are people who have feelings, right? And I believe we are 100% worthy all the time. Then no one can take it away. Our work can't take it away. Our choices, our lives, our friends, our kids can't take it away, right? We are 100% whole all the time, then it's on us, right? So we can be our own heroes. And as I explore themes around feminism in my Facebook group, and I posted yesterday, I was so surprised about, it's like one of my highest liked and commented on posts is about women bending over backwards, right? And we're told to be so many things all at one time, even though we can't. We can't do it. It's impossible. So let's sit with that for a minute because it's tough. It's hard. It's uncomfortable. Let's breathe and just be present and see what comes up in your body as I say that, right? That we have to save ourselves. That we are here for us. What comes up for you, right? In a wave, hey, Carrie Ann. The minute I ask a question, everyone drops off of Facebook. It's so funny. So, if we're our own heroes and we're 100% worthy, we don't need outside validation. We don't need someone else to remind us how awesome we are if we truly believe that. We're not going to be looking for successes at work, successes at home, right? Because we know we're amazing already and we don't need to desperately be saying, tell me I'm doing it right. Tell me I'm doing it good enough. Am I good enough yet? Did I win? Am I amazing? Right? Putting yourself before others so you can better care for others once your cup is full. Totally, right? Like we got to fill our cup for sure. Thank you for sharing that insight. Yeah. So once we start considering that we're 100% worthy all the time, that desire can kind of fade away. Or when we try to remember we can be our own heroes, we don't need anyone else. We can exist, right? It doesn't mean like live alone and hermit style, like monk style life, right? Oh, a bird just landed in a tree behind me. But we can live with other people in our lives, right? Like here's me, here's my partner. We don't have to be this interwoven thing that is the only definition of what we are, right? We can be enough, which will attract people who also believe that we are enough. Oh, great question. So how do you create that internal dialogue that you can? Yes, great question, Heather. So I'm just looking at my notes. Yes, I prepared. Well, right. So I'm so wise. I wrote a note that was exactly an answer to your question. When that's challenged, right, you have to remember that we are responsible for our thoughts, our feelings, and our bodies and our wellness. No one else is, right? So we're in control of our thoughts. No, Heather, you're fine. I love this. It's good dialogue. So if we're in charge of our thoughts, which can create our feelings, which create our overwhelming sense of wellness and wholeness, that's where the work needs to happen, is working on exploring and changing our thoughts. And remember that we're responsible for them, right? And if we're responsible for them, we don't need other people to confirm these things. So when we're at work, it doesn't mean you don't ask for help. It doesn't mean you don't, want to have friends or people in your life. It just means you're responsible for your own feelings. So if someone's in a bad mood, it doesn't mean the other person has to match your mood. Though my husband will tell you, I definitely tried to do this last night and get him to match my mood because I was very upset about something. It was very present for me, right? I wanted his mood to match my mood and he was not having it. And that was hard. So a lot of apologizing in this house this morning. right? But we are responsible for our own feelings. Even if we try to convince other people that that's not the case. Myself included, clearly, right? So we have to work on our thoughts. So if we're hearing, you suck, we're doubting, let's doubt ourselves, you're doing it wrong, you're always messing it up. If you remember that you are 100% worthy all the time, and if you're worthy, you can ask for help when you need it, or remember that you totally know what you're talking about. Because sometimes it might be doubt, and sometimes it might be true, right? Like I ask for help, or I look for supervision from colleagues or feedback. And that's okay too, because I know I'm worthy, and so it's okay to ask questions. It doesn't mean I'm less than because I'm asking a question. And then that creates my feelings of worthiness, of feeling good enough, of knowing that I'm awesome most of the time, and that we have bad days and bad nights. And even when we're a therapist, we do the wrong thing to our partners, right? So let's sit with that, right? It's uncomfortable, it's confusing, it might be something new, it might be something old. I'm not totally sure where you're at. So let's just breathe with that knowledge and that knowing. Maybe float your eyes closed and hear I am enough over and over. I am enough. I control my thoughts, which means I control my feelings. And give you the clarity to make some decisions and take some action. And if you're on Facebook, I can't see that you are here, so please leave a comment below. And sorry about the darkness. So let's breathe, right? Notice that trail of thoughts, right, that are totally questioning me right now. I know they are, and that's okay, because I know I'm right, and so I don't need your validation. But I want you to explore your own inner experience. So what comes up with doubt? What questions around worthiness? Which leads me to our inner critic, right? You know that voice. It's going, but what if Rachel's wrong? It might be a whisper. It might be a yell. It might be, she's wrong. Who is this lady? Right? But it might not. It might be a quiet voice. Even if it's a loud voice, you can tell it to shut up. You have my permission. You should have your own permission too. But we have to hear and notice that inner critical voice. And let's find a compassionate voice. Let's find a soft, soothing, or maybe loud, right? My inner self-compassion person is pretty loud to counteract the critic, right? Because they're just boop, 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 all the time, right? Back and forth. And so that voice should be something amazing. I don't know if you guys listen to 99% Invisible, but for sure Roman Mars is definitely one of those voices. Though I heard that some people don't like his voice. It was very disappointing to me. So find your inner awesome voice. Remember in Fight Club, like Ed Norton's voice? That's a great soothing inner voice. Maybe there's something else. A little Dolly Parton, right? That can be nice too. Find that inner compassionate voice. And just be present with it. What could it say to remind you that you're amazing, that you're doing a great job during a revolution, which is happening during a pandemic, right? Layers on layers. The stuff that was with us before is with us now with less distraction. So that was a lot. Let's sit with it and process, right? Finding our self-compassionate voice, reminding ourselves that we are worthy and are 100% awesome and enough all the time. What does that voice sound like? Which ear does it whisper in, or which shoulder does it sit on? Maybe it's somewhere else in your body. Maybe it's here in your heart, in your chest. Maybe you haven't heard it yet, and that's okay too. Maybe it has to come from your funny deck of cards, right? That's not quite tarot, but is still hilarious and insightful nonetheless. So let's grab another sip of coffee as we breathe, or tea, whatever you're into. I've had that California song from that show, The O.C., in my head since I picked this up like an hour ago. And just notice what that tastes like and feels like as you drink it, if it's warm or cold. And what that does for you. Does it bring up those self-compassionate feelings? Does it remind you? And can you remember there's some great inner work that needs to happen, but you are more powerful than you know, more powerful than you think. And you can control and change your thoughts. They're going to pop up, right? They're going to emerge without control, but you don't have to assign meaning or look into it. You don't have to be a part of it. You don't have to engage with it. It can just move on because there's plenty more thoughts where those came from. So there's more thoughts, more critical, more supportive, whatever thoughts on their way. So you don't have to assign meaning to them. So if you're awesome and worthy all the time, what happens here? What happens in that feeling area, right? I bet you're a little lighter. I bet you're feeling a little bit more lifted. Maybe you're sitting a little bit higher. I know I am, right? I remind myself of this all the time. You are totally awesome. Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. Leaves on a stream of boxes on a conveyor belt. I like that. I use cars on a highway, but like to each his own, totally. Leaves on a stream of boxes on a conveyor belt. That's really cool, Heather. Yeah. So as we wind down, done our 15 minutes today, whether you're here the whole time or not, that's okay. Let's breathe it out. You can purse your lips like this, like you're going to blow a whistle, sort of. Blow a kiss too, right? And just breathe through that tiny space in your mouth. So let's take a big inhale in. Remembering that you're worthy and you don't need outside information to tell you that. And then we breathe out. Right? Helps regulate the nervous system, helps bring us our down regulation, right? Calming ourselves, soothing ourselves. All right. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined. People have popped in and out. That's okay. Thank you for tolerating the shadowiness on Facebook and on Instagram. I've looked great this whole time, so I'm super cool with that. If you want to work with me one-to-one, I am available and I have openings for coaching online, which means you could be anywhere, not just in the state of Connecticut. So send me a DM if you want to join my free Facebook group. That would be lovely. It's called Break You, and we're working on exploring a lot of women's empowerment themes. That's where we're at right now. So please join us for free, Break You. Or if you want to work with me on meditation and topics like self-compassion and remembering how worthy you are and being your own hero, I'd love to hear from you. Send me a DM or email me at thegroundedtherapist@gmail.com. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll talk to you guys next week, and I will figure out my angles better. Maybe I'll do a fun filter too. All right. Bye, everybody.